what we're going to start with is in this 90-90 position. So if I turn to the side, so we have 90 degrees, we have 90 degrees, and we're going to work on kind of external rotation of your front lead hip. So in this position, I'm going to show you actually from here. So, excuse me. So the big thing that you're going to want to do is as you're doing this range of motion, as I'm getting more range of motion, if you look at my waistband, this waistband isn't going to be going down towards the floor to stretch it. So that would be like more my back. And then if my waistband were to go up and kind of forward, that'd be more my glutes, my hip, those deep hip rotators that we want to stretch. So we're going to start out kind of getting your chest kind of towards over the top of your kneecap. Okay, so about here. And then from there, I'm just going to lean forward. Okay. Now, I'm going to imagine almost like there's a scale right underneath my knee, my shin, my foot. And while maintaining this angle, so I'm not going to push out of the stretch, I'm going to slowly push into the floor through the knee, shin, and foot at 25%, 50%, 75%. And then now I'm at 100, trying to push that ground down, down, and I'm going to hold that for about 10 seconds. Then after this 10 seconds is up, I'm going to try to pull, I'm going to try to decrease this angle by bringing that waistband kind of up towards the ceiling to get more of a stretch. So I'm going to do the opposite. So now I feel like almost like I'm trying to pull my knee and my shin off the floor, and that's pulling me more into a stretch. And I'm pulling into that stretch, and I'm pulling into that stretch, and I'm pulling into that stretch. 10 more seconds. So I'm going 20 seconds of this one, so I should feel kind of like the inner thigh working to kind of get a stretch on the outer hip. 3, 2, and 1. So I relax. So I don't back out of the stretch at all. I just breathe into that new range of motion. So I'm just going to go 10 breaths. Okay, I'm going to go a couple more breaths, and then I'm going to ramp it up one more time. Then I'm going to switch hips. Okay, now from here, again, I'm going to push into the floor, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100, and I'm going to hold that for about 10 seconds. So trying to push from my knee, my shin, my foot into the floor, but I'm not pushing out of the stretch. 3, 2, and reverse it. So I'm trying to pull that knee off the floor. I'm trying to pull that shin off the floor, and that's increasing the stretch in this left hip, kind of that glute area. At 100%. Hold that for about 5-ish more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then breathe. I'm going to go for 10 breaths. So about 8 more breaths. So I'm getting increased range of motion of that hip, and then with those different isometrics, I'm getting strength on both ends. So I'm building strength at end ranges to tell my brain that I not only want to keep that range, but I want to be strong at those end ranges. Let's go a couple more breaths. And then back out. All right, then we're going to go to the right side. You don't always have to go as well just directly over the kneecap. Some people might feel more of a stretch, going more over, shin, more going away. So it's kind of whatever you feel like you get the most out of it. So in this position, okay, I'm tall. I'm not kind of getting any bend from the spine, and I'm just going to get into that hip to start. Whereas I feel like that's the range of motion, I'm going to start by pushing into the floor. 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100. I'm going to hold that for 10 seconds, pushing into the floor, pushing into the floor. Should feel like the glute working to push into the floor. 3, 2, and now I'm going to reverse it. So I'm trying to pull my chest down towards the floor, pull my chest down towards the floor while keeping that spine nice and flat. Holding about 10 more seconds. Closing that distance. 5 more seconds. And relax, okay? So I'm breathing this new range of motion that I just pulled myself into for about 10 breaths. Just inhale, long exhale, and with each exhale, you kind of feel like you're doesn't feel as intense of a stretch. A couple more breaths, and we're going to go one more round. All right, then we're going to push in the floor again, 25% to 50%, 75, and we're at 100. We're going to hold that for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and close that distance for 20 seconds. Ten seconds. And relax. Just breathe, chest up. You can, if you want, kind of go down on the forearm. If you get a little bend from the spine on this one, that's okay. About 5 more breaths. So you're just spending some time doing a little bit more mobility work than your traditional mobility drills. So this one's going to make a little bit more difference, and it's going to make it more likely to be able to, the range of motion that you get, to make that stick.